Hey kids, John Paul Jones was a Revolutionary War hero known as the father of the U.S. Navy. Do you know who John Paul Jones is? Me neither. Let's figure out who he is. So, who was JPJ? Well, he was born in Scotland in 1747, where from a young age he spent most of his time down at the harbor talking to grown men, climbing their ships, the usual things a kid should be doing. Also, I need to add a quote. He spent much of his time off at the nearby port of Carsthorne. Whenever he could, he ran down to the port where he would talk to sailors and clamber all over ships. It was clear that the sea was calling to John. So let's skip a couple decades to 1772, where he buys his first ship and crew. And he was doing alright, but he had a bit of a violent temper. So, 1 year after he gets his crew, somebody gets the bright idea to start a mutiny. And you know what John Paul Jones does? He murders the man in cold blood. Oh, I should probably mention John Paul Jones was originally just named John Paul. The Jones was added when he fled to America to escape prosecution. He was quite a smart guy only adding Jones to his name. That sure fooled the authorities. Also, I need to add a quote here too. In 1772, he purchased a vessel in the West Indies, but the following year after killing ringleader of the mutinous group, he fled the islands to escape trial and changed its name to John Paul Jones. So, 1775 rolls around and the US is like, okay, Britain, they kind of have like a big navy. We need a big navy, so let's make a navy. Did I just hear you made a navy without me in it? I'm sorry, John. I'll make you first lieutenant. That's a real thing, right? Washington. Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, thanks. See ya. So after that whole debacle, he starts attacking British ships, sinking them, burning them. Totally legal stuff at the time. But then, if he wasn't crazy enough, he goes to Britain itself and starts taking ships and burning them. So after the American Revolution, he goes and does some stuff for France, and during the Battle of Flamboyant Head, he practically loses all of his ships and men. When the enemy captain asks him if he's done fighting, he says, I have not yet begun to fight. I mean, the big brass balls on this guy, am I right? Anyways, that's all for today. Wait, what? There's something else? Okay, I'll add that in. So also, JPJ was quite disgusted by the slave trade, in quote. He quitted the slave trade in disgust, calling it an abominable trade. Okay, so that's all for today, folks. See ya.